You feel like your life is either on autopilot or worse, like you're impersonating yourself. Being this version of you is exhausting, not because you were the loudest, not because you were the leader, but because you were always the one they knew wouldn't say no. They didn't lean on you out of respect, they leaned out of habit, because your silence made their comfort possible. And when you finally start pulling back, not out of spite, but out of self-preservation, the backlash comes. Now you're acting different. Now you're hard to reach. Now you've changed. Like that's some kind of crime. But they don't miss you. They miss the version of you who was easy to access, who didn't ask for much, who kept giving, even when it cost you something invisible. That version? Gone. And this new you? You're not performing anymore. You're not softening the truth just to keep the peace. You're not going back to being someone else's emotional cushion. This is the breakdown, and it's also your breakthrough. Suddenly, everything feels off. You find yourself rearranging your bedroom at 2 a.m. like your soul is trying to exhale. That show you used to binge? Now it feels hollow, like a joke you've outgrown. The conversations with friends feel offbeat. You can't quite laugh at the same things anymore. And family gatherings? They drain you in a way you can't explain without sounding different. You start pulling away, avoiding people, skipping calls, craving silence. Your favorite foods don't hit the same. You're craving citrus, earth tones, sunlight, solitude. Even your job, the one that once gave you purpose, now feels like just a transaction. Just a place you clock in while your soul waits in the parking lot. You can't explain why you're suddenly drawn to ancient music, or astrology, or healing herbs, or forgotten books with symbols that stir something in your chest. You only know this. What once fit, now itches. What once fed you, now leaves you hungry. And what once made sense, now just makes noise. This is not confusion. This is awakening, and it always begins with dissonance. Once you start waking up, it's not just your habits you question, it's everything. You start side-eyeing the systems you were raised to trust, the family roles, the 9-to-5 grind, the rituals dressed up as religion, the expectations stitched into school curriculums and credit scores. You were taught to call it life, but now it feels more like a script. You watch people work jobs they hate to afford lives they don't have time to enjoy. You hear advice that sounds like a loop. Go to school, get a job, buy a house. Work until your knees give out. Retire, and maybe start living. But by then, your soul has been starved for decades. You start to wonder, who benefits from me staying asleep? Who profits from my obedience? Why do we call it growing up, when it feels more like shrinking down? And maybe the hardest question of all, what parts of me did I abandon to survive this system? Because when you see it, you can't unsee it. You begin peeling back layers that were never yours. Beliefs you inherited, not chose. Traditions that silence more than they heal. Lifestyles that look successful on paper, but feel like cages in the body. This isn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. This is sacred disobedience. It's remembering that the life you were handed was never the same as the life you were meant to live. Awakening isn't just spiritual, it's biological. Your nervous system starts rewiring before you even understand what's happening. You start sleeping more, or not at all. Foods you once loved now makes you feel heavy or wired. Caffeine hits differently. Meat tastes strange. Sugar makes your heart race. Your body starts rejecting what your soul has outgrown. You may feel random aches, joint stiffness, heat rising in your chest, a pulsing behind your eyes or between your brows. Not pain exactly, more like pressure. Like something inside you is trying to break through the skin. Your ears ring or itch. You feel energy moving through your hands. You wake up at 3:33 a.m. for no reason. And there's this quiet knowing that it's not just insomnia, it's a summons. Emotionally, you're on a roller coaster. 1 minute you're euphoric, like you're remembering something divine. The next, you're gutted by a grief you can't name. Old memories surface. Childhood wounds crack open. You're not too emotional. You're detoxing timelines. The truth is, your body becomes your first translator. Before the mind understands, the body reacts. It's not broken, it's broadcasting. And once you begin to listen, you realize your body has been whispering the truth all along. We're not meant to live this disconnected. After the breakdown, there's a strange calm. You're not healed, you're clear. The fog doesn't lift all at once, but the air feels different, lighter, cleaner, electric. You stop looking for someone else to validate your path. You stop over-explaining your peace. You stop apologizing for being too deep, too quiet, too honest, too sensitive, too much. Instead, you start reclaiming what was always yours. You reclaim your intuition, those gut hits you used to ignore because they weren't rational. You reclaim your voice, not the one that kept the peace, but the one that speaks truth. You reclaim your boundaries, not as walls, but as sacred architecture. You start seeking the sacred in the ordinary, the smell of rain, the quiet between songs, the way a stranger's eyes meet yours at just the right moment. Your interests shift, your rituals change. You speak less, but what you say carries weight. You move differently, like someone who remembers they're made of star matter. This is the part where you realize you were never lost. You were buried, under expectation, under culture, under roles, titles, trauma, silence. And now you're digging your way back to the root. This is reclamation. Not reinvention, not some new identity to perform, but remembrance of whom you were before the world told you who to be. People love to romanticize awakening. They make it look like crystal grids, moon baths, and instant peace. But if you're really in it, you know it's more like guilt. You start realizing you've been living someone else's blueprint, and now you have to unlearn almost everything that built your identity. The religious beliefs you were raised on, they start to feel rigid. The family dynamics start to feel performative. The cultural expectations start to feel like quiet chains dressed up as pride. You find yourself in a tug-of-war, the old version of you trying to hold on, while the new you is trying to breathe. You're not lost, you're at a crossroads. And for many, the deprogramming doesn't take days or months, it takes years. That's why you start disappearing. Not to run away, but to make sense of everything that no longer fits, to listen without noise, to live without default settings. 1. Buy a journal that speaks to your spirit. Not just any notebook, get something sacred, something that looks like it already holds secrets. Let it become your altar in ink. Use it to track dreams, words, flashbacks, number sightings, body sensations. If it feels important, write it down. Your soul is leaving breadcrumbs. 2. Light a candle. With intention, not for aesthetics, for energy. Choose a grounding scent, cedar, frankincense, vetiver, or sandalwood. Let the flame be your anchor when things feel chaotic. Whisper your truth into the flame like it's listening, because it is. 3. Eat slowly and with presence. Yes, eat. But don't just consume, commune. Notice the textures, the taste, the temperature. Citrus, root vegetables, herbal teas. Awakening often shows up as cravings. Honor your body as part of the ceremony. 4. Use frequency to recalibrate. Your body is a tuning fork. When it's vibrating too fast or too slow, turn to healing sound. Start here. 396 Hertz. Release fear plus guilt. 528
Hertz, DNA repair plus unconditional love. 963 Hertz, pineal gland plus divine connection. Use headphones. Close your eyes. Let the tones do what words can't. 5. Don't force the pace. Your growth doesn't need to go viral. This isn't a race, it's a ritual. You're not late, you're not behind. You're syncing with sacred time. This isn't just healing, it's remembering, it's rebirthing. It's a return to the original you, one quiet act of self-trust at a time.
Awakening isn't a one-time event. It's not a single download or a mind-blowing dream. It's a lifestyle, and just like you shower, brush your teeth, and check your bank balance, you have to tend to your energetic body with the same consistency. This is spiritual hygiene. It means learning what throws off your energy and choosing to protect your peace like it's your only currency. Because now, it is. 1. Boundaries are not betrayal. Yes, even with family, especially with family, you don't need to explain your healing to people committed to misunderstanding it. You don't owe anyone access to the version of you who used to abandon yourself for their comfort. Boundaries are not about distance, they're about direction. 2. Move your body to move energy. Spiritual stagnation often shows up as physical heaviness. Stretch, walk, dance, breathe. The body stores trauma, yes, but it also stores clarity. Your nervous system is the bridge between your human life and your soul's frequency. Keep it clean, keep it supported, keep it moving. 3. Clean your space. Clear your field. Your room isn't just messy, it's holding stagnant thought forms. And some of that clutter? It's not random, it's emotional residue. Look around your space. The bracelet or watch from a past relationship. Those pants you wore during the worst year of your life, the bed sheets that still remember who used to lay next to you. Objects carry frequency. They remember who you were when you wore them, used them, cried into them. If it pulls you back into pain, guilt, shame, or smaller versions of yourself, release it. You're not purging clutter, you're clearing timelines. Decluttering is spell work. Opening windows is frequency medicine. Salt, smoke, sound, whatever clears your space, use it regularly. Here is a quick salt guide. Sea salt clears general energy, emotional residue, and ancestral heaviness. Black salt protects and breaks cords with toxic energy. Himalayan pink salt supports heart healing and nervous system balance. Epsom salt releases tension and resets your field after spiritual overwhelm. You're not just tidying up, you're making room for who you're becoming. 4. Rest without guilt. Stillness is part of the process. Rest is not doing nothing, it's receiving integration. Some awakenings don't need another breakthrough, they just need a nap. 5. Discernment over consumption. Not every video, book, or coach is meant for you. Not every spiritual person is in alignment. Protect your mind like you protect your passwords. Curiosity is beautiful, but don't let it become confusion. This isn't just a lifestyle upgrade, it's a soul recalibration. Spiritual hygiene is how you stay clean in a world full of projections. It's how you stay grounded in a timeline that wants you distracted. It's how you stay awake once the veil has lifted. If you've made it this far, you're not just watching a video, you're remembering. You're remembering the part of you that's ancient and sacred and tired of pretending. This wasn't just content, it was a code, a mirror you were always meant to find. Not to fix you, not to lead you, but to remind you. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're not imagining the shift, you are the shift. And now you have a choice. You can keep scrolling, or you can sit with it. The discomfort, the remembering, the unlearning. Awakening a straight path. It's a spiral. A return to who you were before the world told you who to be. If this spoke to your soul, say it in the comments. Tell the version of you who's been quietly screaming for clarity, "I hear you now." Drop a cyclone emoji or type "I'm remembering" in the comments if this cracks something open. And if you're ready for more transmissions like this, subscribe to The Conscious Observer. Stay observant and move like you remember.